Advice. Okay. I think let's break it down into academics and then social life. So if we look at
Okay.
the academic side of things, how do you prepare, or what sort of things should you be aware of? Whilst um I know that, but like when I first started, I thought burnout was not a real thing. It is. Like I thought people were just being over dramatic,
Hmm.
but I got humbled. It wasn't people being over dramatic. It was more of a case of just experiencing it once. And I think you're bound to experience it at some point, if not at university, maybe later on. But knowing how to deal with it, and the way to deal with it is literally having a secure group of network with you. What I
Could you
mean by that,
explain? Oh, cool. That's
yeah,
fine.
what I mean by network is one, obviously there's freshers week and you make your friends and you get to know people's faces, their names, get them to know yours, but also try and open up to certain people a little bit more. But that's just a natural process with when it comes to making friends. You'll open up in your own time.
Hmm.
But apart from friends, what else is there? There's mental health and well-being centers. There's your personal tutors, there's your lecturers, there's your GP tutors at medicine and at medical school. There is peer mentors, there's medic families, there's a whole range of networks that you can open up to. And I think it's very, very important to speak up about how you feel, why you're feeling a certain way. Just speaking to someone makes it so much better. Like a problem shared is a problem halved, basically. And yeah, go on.
And I was going to say, and then the other side.
And then the other side in terms of social life.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the social aspect of things, um, I think you've got to remember in the first 5 weeks, don't rush to make friends. There's no point rushing to make friends. You rush, you're going to end up, you know, um, it's going to backfire to a certain extent. I think you've got to remember that everyone is relatively new. Everyone's wanting to meet other people. Everyone's trying to make a good first impression. And whilst that is happening, um, let people open up naturally. You don't want to force people as your friend in the first week, because a definition of a friend, one of the definitions is a friend is who is with you throughout your bad and good times. And you don't know that in the first week who's going to be with you throughout your bad times and who's going to be
Hmm.
with you throughout your good times. So give it time. But the main thing is, I'd say, still put yourself out there, get to network with people, get to know people's names and faces so you're known, but don't rush into befriending people so easily. Like when I say, I think it really depends on what you consider as the definition of a friend. If you think a friend is someone you see every day, you speak to, okay, that's fair enough. Then obviously go and make friends. But if you think of friend as someone who you can trust, who you can open up to, you will not find that out until after the fifth week, because you've got to give it time for people to open up, let loose a little, in terms of um, any mindset that they've had at the start, and just open up. It's kind of like, squeezing a bud of a flower, and you squeeze it so much that the flower just pops out, but the flower just suddenly droops. Let
Hmm.
the flower bloom naturally, and it will then fragrance as well and all that stuff. So let friendship, develop naturally. And
Bro,
good,
don't force it.
yeah, don't force it. Because you got to remember, good friendships are not forced. They're effortless. You don't need to put effort in at all.
If you now give advice to do with your course for someone about to study your course, they're about to hit first year and they're about to study your course, what advice would you give?
I think when it comes to advice, now you got to remember, first year of medicine is a trial run.
Mm.
In my opinion, I think you got to remember, all the lecturers know you're coming from A levels or coming from another degree. You've got to remember that you don't want to kick yourself, if you don't get, 90%, 80%. The pass mark at my med school is 40%. So it just screams how, vast and a lot of work you have to put in. And because of that, the pass mark is like 40%. So don't kick yourself because of that. And I think more so, take it easy as it comes, explore different revision techniques, and work with people, not against people. It takes a lot of energy to work against people. And that also includes, hoarding, your revision techniques, not helping one another. There's a lot of energy taken away from you. If you do all of that, you're not going to gain anything out of, hoarding. But if you actually help someone, you may potentially not only just making a friend, but also you help them. And helping them, you're going to end up, sooner or later, what goes around comes around, basically. You help others today and others will help you tomorrow. So it's as simple as that.
And finally, what advice you give to students wanting to study at your university?
At my university. Now, the thing is, with medical school, we're literally in the medical school. So there's not much we do within other like universities as such. But in terms of advice, I'd say for every university, go on the open day and see the vibe for it. And I know it's a bit odd, but your gut instinct, if you like the university, your gut will say yes, 100%. You can have I think it's, in terms of advice, it's quite hard. It's more so to do with preference. If you like the university, your gut will say, this is
the one.
This is the one. I think when you go to an open day, you must make sure and ask yourself this: can you see yourself here for the next 5 years or 3 years? And if you can, and if you feel like you're comfortable, then go for it. If you feel like maybe not so sure, don't. You would rather, be somewhere where you actually are happy, or you're comfortable, that finding a place where you find that peace, because you're going to be far away from home, assumably, so you want to be at ease as well.